What's up, witches? So welcome back to my channel. It's me, Cheyenne, aka the Lunar Priest. Today we are going to be doing a Your Life in 6 Months overview, going over the stuff that will serve you, clarity, guidance, little things that your guides want you to know about how this progression will be taking place. We're going to go over general upgrades, love, and money, okay? Because I feel like those are exciting topics. Again, everything in this reading is meant to just serve you in your highest and best aligned path, which means that only take what serves you and then leave the rest, because this reading will be for numerous people. We have 3 different piles here, and we have 1, 2, and 3. I was vibing on the Quartz point. So in pile 1 we have this is actually, I'm pretty sure, a citrine, but it's very clear, and that's a big point. And then we have a little tangerine quartz, so cute, in pile number 2. And then pile number 3 has our classic clear quartz. So head to the description box below, click on the timestamp that corresponds with the pile that you're going to choose, and we're going to hop right into the reading. But before we do, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to continue making content. Like the video, leave a comment, let me know which pile you chose, how it resonated, and without further ado, let's hop right in. What's up, pile 1? Okay, we're gonna hop right into your reading. We're going over the next 6 months, kind of the progression of the next 6 months. We're gonna take whatever God, universe, spirit, your guides, ancestors, those who are most aligned in your highest and best path give us today. Again, this is a broad reading for a lot of different people. Some of the stuff may not resonate with you, and you'll be able to tell because it won't excite you that much. It might not ring a bunch of bells in your mind. But if that happens, leave that stuff, take what does serve you, and we're gonna get right into it. So before we start, I always like to look at the crystal that corresponds to your pile. Pile number 1, looking at that, like, usually the numerology doesn't stand out to me that much, but it being 1, and then the crystal being the biggest point, makes me feel like you might be the pile that has the most significant outward change, meaning that your changes are going to show up the most out of the other piles for other people to see. You could be someone who is climbing in your level of influence, whether that be in work or coming to more of the forefront of your household, maybe a social media thing. Something about this, like, emergence, though, is standing out to me here. And also that you've been having more ideas and being given more tools, connections, mostly tools and ideas, though, like discovering new avenues in the ways you can express yourself. So maybe picking up more artistic mediums, finding outlets, like to expose your art, or to expose what you're creating, or to expose your ideas. And for some of you, I do think this could be in like a corporate position too, where you're given the opportunity to present differently or present a new topic, or you're given a new department to work with. Someone significant maybe entering your life right now that will change the trajectory of your success. So those are just some broad things that are coming in. So I feel like this pile does have new business partnerships, or if you are like a stay-at-home type of person where you're mostly, you know, confined to your own devices, it can be like you're finding new outlets to express yourself, and you're feeling more powerful and more able to delegate tasks, responsibilities, or to handle responsibilities, if you will. Okay, and then also being citrine, there's a self-charge here. So feelings of like burnout or being tired or not enough time could be kind of leaving, like you're finding more ways to operate sustainably for your like biological clock and rhythms. It could be that, you know, you're both getting enough sleep and still having enough time in the day to carry out the things you need, or you could be having a focus on like your adrenal glands, where you're interested in I don't know, finding techniques to sustain yourself, like red light therapy, or I don't know, cutting back on coffee or caffeine. Like little things that can make a difference in your energy levels might come to the forefront in a very graceful way. This pile doesn't seem like it has any like hard-hitting lessons, more so just like refining a lifestyle or a daily schedule, if you will. So those are the psychic tidbits that I'm picking up on. I'm going to look over here sometimes because I lay out the boxes to the Oracle and Tarot cards so that I don't forget what their name is called. So we're going in first, and of course this box is turned over with the Untamed Elemental. To open up your reading, we have the Snake. Okay, this definitely lets me know that there are unseen forces behind some of this stuff that we're going to talk about in this reading. Like, I might say some stuff where you're like, I don't know how that's going to happen though. And that's kind of the point, I think, here, is that there are unseen connections and blessings and opportunities and things that just haven't like sparked in your mind yet. Like, I think that the necessary people or resources or like tools to get the manifestations in this reading are already around you. It's just about connecting the dots, which will happen over the next 6 months. Also with the Snake, I see heightened love life, heightened sexuality, heightened confidence in those things. Like, not feeling like you need to be the one who is waiting. Like, you're not waiting to get what you want. You're starting to just exude a level of magnetism. Like, if you are already in a partnership, you're understanding how to like play the game that you need to play in terms of how you can present yourself to get more attention and more love and more respect. And you'll find that the people around you, both platonic, business, romantic, all are starting to direct their attention towards you because maybe you're expressing yourself in a much more, like, confident might not be the right word, you just have an unspoken like magnetism about you that is developing over the next 6 months. And when the Snake card comes up, it's also this extreme psychicness where you have a lot of time, and it might seem like, okay, over the next 6 months, yes, some big things happen, some changes are made, but they are also like spread out enough to where there's some like quiet contemplation time, and like the waiting and like charging up period is also significant, where the in-between moments of the more larger events or the larger shifts happen, you're also like able to see through certain things where you're like, you know what, I don't really like how such and such conducts their energy with me anymore. I'm either going to shift the dynamic that we're operating in by changing the tone in which we talk to each other, or I'm going to cut this person out. Like, there is this sense of, I know who really matters right now, and I don't need to give my energy to anything that doesn't pertain to my sense of connection to, you know, my life and God, universe, and spirit, and my ancestors, like whoever it is that you're interacting with on an otherworldly level. You can start to see how some people just waste time and energy, even if they don't mean to. You have less availability for that. And that's like a feminine yin ability to really see the truth of every situation and person who crosses your path, and to not hold ill will or resentment or anything like that towards those things that don't serve you, but to just be like, I just direct myself towards what does serve me. So it's not hard for me to clearly communicate. Like, you might see that you're becoming less passive, in the sense that when someone invites you to do something, or there seems to be an opportunity that is like quote unquote too good to be true, or might just be all talk, it'll be easy for you to be like, not today, like I don't have time for that, and to clearly kind of say that, to be like, I don't really like this situation, you know, like I don't really vibe with that. I don't think that this is what I need to do today. And it'll be easy for you to just like clearly communicate that with less like attitude, if you will. But it'll start to help you to be like, oh, it's easy for me to say no, and it's easy for me to say yes, and it's easy for me to make those choices without being like passive and on the fence. And in that way you feel more security within yourself, and you trust yourself more to make choices. So let's keep going. General upgrades. So we have 3 different cards. We have one from my OG tarot deck. This is like the first real reading deck that I used. Excuse me, here we go with the yawning, dude. Okay. We also have the Black Moon astrology cards. We have the Fortune Oracle, and then we have the Priestess Moon Making Magic Oracle for your general upgrades. This is going to kind of help us zoom out and see what's going down in the next 6 months. So your tarot card, we have the Knight of Swords. I'm going to actually lay all these out so I can see them together. But already, you know, we have like the Snake, the Knight of Swords, the CitrinePoint. There's this like direction that you're taking. You know the general manifestation you're headed towards, the lifestyle, the feelings that you want, and you're logically able to see who and what will provide those things for you and who won't. The blinds are going crazy over there. Okay. We also have 10th house, the world. So yeah, like you're interacting with a lot of people. There's a lot of things coming into factor here. You're focused on who am I in this world? How do I get to be who I want to be? Fortune Oracle, we have the Moon card number 21. Pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. That full moon energy with the 10th house is like you're kind of on fire. Fire card, dude. You're that's been happening to me so much. Like the other day someone said, oh, I wonder how many Karens are out here, and then this lady got out of a taxi and was like, Karen, let's go. And we were like, whoa. And like non-stop it's been happening. Fire. Okay, you're literally on fire. The element of fire heralds new life and positive transformation. Card number 17, card number 21, and 34. So 21, tarot numerology, gives us a little bit of that closing congratulations energy. You might be finally understanding what you need to do. Like, I think about my journey with YouTube, and it's like I try a lot of different things, but I know ultimately that the goal is to have a level of my foot on the gas, making content that I enjoy, that is reasonable for me to make, you know, like not being all over the place. Just here's the general content that I should be making. Yes, I can try other things, but like stick to what succeeds is kind of the philosophy there. And I feel that for you in your life is like you might be creating content or wanting to like get this position of some sort. There's some sort of status you're seeking with the 10th house. And again, I said the world for the moon because it's card number 21 in this oracle deck. And then the 10th house literally says the world. And the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, Saturn, ruling the world card. So there is this focus on things are closing for a reason. Like I'm also hearing, you know, there's a similar situation. Like I have a couple of people in my life who are seemingly successful, but anytime I try to like get involved, it never really pays off for me. So there could be something like that for you where you're like, I'm starting to see where when I direct my energy towards other people and other ideas that don't fully resonate with me, I don't really get that big of a payoff. Follow your intuition right now with what internally fulfills you. Like when you get that task done, when you get that job done, when you keep up on your responsibilities and do that thing you're passionate about, that feeling of success, like genuine internal success that comes over you is what you should follow. And more of that will become clear over the next 6 months. You will, in the next 6 months, most likely feel like, dang, I used to like really have to crank the wheel to get a change, and now the wheel has kind of like built up this magnetic force of like it's automatically going and you don't have to like try so hard. So clear sight, fire. So card number 17, fire, in the Priestess Moon Making Magic Oracle. 17 is associated to the Star card, which is like rest, rejuvenation, returning to health, returning to full capacity through the art of like incubation and thought and connection. So I'm thinking of like when we want to start studying something we're just interested in and then it ends up being like useful later on, follow what interests you right now, because it really sets you on fire. Like you're like passionate and you're like, you know, I stand by this. I really like playing this role. I really like the changes that this brings about. You have something about you that is meant to be seen, and it is going to happen in the way that serves you most. Like it's not about just being famous. Like I don't really get that word in this pile. It's about like building a sustainable reputable community where you are kind of like in a position of power, but it's not about that. It's about being self-sustaining and creative and driven and being able to apply all that in a very unique way for you. Knight of Swords, you know, a younger male or masculine leaning figure with darker features could be a key player, because sometimes, you know, in traditional tarot we look at the court cards through a lens of other people. But by the same token, if it's not about another person, it's about you moving quickly towards the goal, just being like driven. Like the Knight of Swords does not have to think about it anymore. They have applied action to all their thoughts at that point. So in the next 6 months, your ideas are no longer ideas, they're in full motion, headed towards the prize, the goal. Like, we have a big upgrade in general coming for you, since this is the upgrade section of the reading. Moving into love. Okay, so we got that, and then that'll be for money. So, okay, love. Let's get all the cards out for this. Just making sure I was recording. So we have 2 of the Sacred Geometry cards by Lon. We have 30 multi-dimensionality for love, and then 33 reflection. So we have some 3s going on here. I'll read the bottom of the card. I'll actually show you the geometry first. So we have 2 different ones for love. I know you can't see it that great, but you're getting the vibe. So multidimensionality, the frequency of multidimensionality activates our awareness of our true essence, which is eternal and multidimensional. 33 reflection, the energy of reflection supports our growth, through the insights we get from the contemplations of self and others. Dang, I don't know how to read sometimes. Dope, okay. And then we also have a, what the hell was this called? Voice of the Soul's Oracle. Forgiveness and love, card number 19, bringing in that sun energy. And I also feel like with all the 3s, like we literally have 30 and 33, 333. Christ consciousness, baby. I mean, whatever that means to you, it doesn't have to mean what you think it means, you know what I mean? And then we also have 48, yo, destiny. All right. What I'm seeing here is you are, I think for a good group, a good portion of this group, it might not be everybody, I think you're looking back because you have some real upgrades. You have a kind of new sense of yourself to the point where you almost have a new identity. And stuff that used to hold you back before isn't holding you back. So you're kind of like scouring the field of like, what else should I weed out? And I think for some of you, you're looking at the people you're romantically interested in and being like, I like this, but what about this big piece right here? This irks me. This is not up to standard. This part, still not sure if I'm with that. You know, like there's this idea of like, I see it for what it is. I've tried to conform, not sure that I want to though. And you're like, and I'm good at this point. Like I don't, in the next 6 months you might be like, you know, I'm good. Like I don't really need this anymore. And that is you know, a feeling to have. Like it sucks to have that feeling. By the same token, with 19 being here, it sends this idea of clarity of I really see this. Like I really understand how this experience has both strengthened me, but I'm also still not sure if it's up to code. So, and then yo, destiny, tight fits. This is God sending you a challenge for a reason. This person is in your life for a reason. This situation is teaching you a very important thing that will apply one day in your life, that will matter in a way that you might not see right this moment. Like you might think, I'm working through codependence, I'm working through this, I'm working through boundaries, I'm working through understanding I deserve love, I deserve more. That's not the end-all lesson though. This is actually strengthening you for other things that you don't even know about yet. And I feel like with this forgiveness, some of you, it's about forgiving the situation, letting go of this person, and moving forward. For some of you, it's about, you know what, here's an easy way to tell. If this person is not someone that you look at anymore with a flutter in your heart, if this person is somebody who has been some level of toxic or abusive and you are not like trying to be with this person long term, if they've messed up to the point of like, I really should have left, like seriously should have left, move on. But if there's someone who they've genuinely not necessarily done something wrong, but you guys just haven't leveled yet, and you really, really love them, you really like them, and yes, there's been mistakes, but it hasn't been like, it hasn't hurt you on a level of like, this is so self-disrespectful for me to stay in this. I think that the forgiveness piece is about actually like a lightening of the heart and being like, I can, matter of fact, it's better for the relationship, it's better for me to be healthily detached and focused on doing what I love, building the life I want to build, which includes you, but it's not the #1 priority. It's more healthy for me to look at life like that and forgive for things where we didn't line up, and let go and stop bringing that stuff up and grow past the challenges. Like, it's just more useful that way, because if I want you in my life, it's better, whether you're there or not, it's better for me to stop dwelling on the past and focus on the strength that I've acquired from being in this situation altogether, moving forward, building this kick-ass life together. Like, I think for a lot of you it's like that. Some of you though, I think you're dealing with someone who it's like, you're better off without them, and you know it, because you can look back at the record of like, dang, the pros have never really outweighed the cons long term, and they still, like, the feelings are dead or they're dying. In that case, it's obvious what you have to do, right? You know what group you're in. Don't play yourself by thinking you're in the group of like, oh, just forgive them and keep making it through this. It's not like that. Like, you're not supposed to be making it through. It's supposed to be uplifting, and it's supposed to enhance your life altogether with your relationship. So, and if this is a situationship, you need to focus on you first, and time will tell you what the overall outcome, because maybe this situation isn't as developed for some of you. But again, if they're not like keeping up with you on some sort of level to where you're matching energy, no matter what, focusing on you first. But I think focusing on you first for some of you will just naturally weed some of your love interests out. Let's keep going. Okay, this part is for money, and I'm feeling excitement all of a sudden. We're going back to one tarot card. We have the Ace of Swords. Dude, with all these swords, straight up, you're just like, cut through the BS, get me to success. It's a little rap I wrote. I'm just kidding. Okay, New Moon and Gemini. These are the Moonology manifestation cards. We have New Moon and Gemini. Think it through. Dude, all this air energy. And then we have last quarter moon in Taurus. Be proud of yourself. Let's go. Okay, and then we have one more black moon astrology. Another 33, 9th house, faith, ruled by Sagittarius, aka Jupiter. And then actually we'll do this to close your reading out. So in terms of money, Ace of Swords, clear channel. There is a new source of income coming in. There's a clear upgrade. There is a clear new channel in which you're receiving money, whether that be you're moving positions, you're operating under a new boss, you are becoming the boss, you are making a new style of content, you are having a new product line. There is something new coming in. It's in its idea phase right now, and you're thinking it through. New Moon and Gemini. I know how I can get this into the community. I just have to take action. You do. Taurus, assets, second house, the house of assets, ownership, home, like belongings. You literally put it in the world. Be proud of yourself. Next 6 months, it moves out of the idea and into the action phase. I really want you to understand that moving into the action phase, after you're totally logically clear on how you should conduct yourself, just go for it. Because it's not like, I need to know everything. I need to have my whole website done. I need to know my next 5 months of content. I need to know where this leads me in 4 years. No, if you have an idea, and you know where to start, and you know what to do, and you've logically thought it through. It's time to begin the action phase. Ninth house, faith. I feel like that might have triggered some of you, but you know what to do. 33, again, this is a channeled thing. Ninth house of faith with that 33. You might have already been thinking about this for a while. You might have had like signs that said like, I wanted to try this. Do it. Because you're channeling something from another world. You're making your ancestors proud. Do it. Ninth house could also mean like you're going to be interacting with a variety of different types of people. You're going to be diverse in what you're doing. You're going to be learning how to speak a different language, whether it's literally you're learning a new language or like communicating with a new audience. And then also travel, like travel, philosophy, higher learning, taking classes, getting your education right. With Gemini and the ninth house, it's like near and far seek wisdom from people who have walked the path you're trying to walk, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, romantically. Look to the people who you admire. Don't copy. Channel what is coming through you. Take advice. Bam. So to close out your reading, we have what? Keepers of the Light, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Keepers of the Light Oracle, and we have El Moria, Awakening Presence. So you are your like full body blast off into like a new identity. Lots of like spiritual symbols here with the swords and the snakes and the money, the full moon. Like you're really celebrating yourself in the next 6 months, because you're just like, this is what I've been dreaming of and it's here. So the universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. Yeah, stay away from BS. No people that are going to get you into trouble. No habits, nothing. Like only up from here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, please leave a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel. I try to put out readings pretty often. I do other styles of content. Leave a comment below and I'll see you next time. Bye. What's up, Pile 2? It's me. We're going to hop right into your next 6 months reading. We're going to be going through general upgrades, love, and money. So exciting topics, right? But before we do, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to continue making content. Great energy exchange for this reading. And I always like to reiterate, this is for a broad group of people. So if something doesn't resonate with you, leave it where it is. Take what does. Take what feels exciting. If it doesn't really excite you, if it doesn't really ring bells, leave it where it's at, okay? We're going to start off with your crystal though, and we have a Tangerine Quartz. I'm feeling some like high otherworldly energy coming through this, like very much a channel, very much getting hints, getting signs, animal totems, numbers maybe, I don't know, but you're being called into like your intuition. You're being called to really trust the messages that you get. Some of you have had people who've passed on that are interested in, you know, extending a gentle hello, and you might feel their presence sometimes, guiding you, being with you, keeping you company, teaching you how to detach from certain expectations. I feel a sense of like angst leading to peace here. Like you may have struggled, you know, with some anxiety and paranoia, scatterbrained feelings, like that Vata kind of energy, and you're starting to get safe in your skin and in your mind again, and going to a place of serenity and peace. And it is about like that simple art of staying present, kind of being like, I don't have to focus on this right now if I don't want. I'd rather focus on something that excites me. I'm also seeing some of you playing like games on your phone, video games, board games, like just playing games is fun. Like getting into the spirit of like, I don't have to be so productive, and that being totally okay. Yeah. And maybe having a daily meditation practice or a breath, or just trying something new that has always sounded fun. Like if you're like, I've never really stretched for 10 minutes a day, I've never really like just had some downtime, you're going to be having more time to do that, because the stuff you've been working for is sort of paying off. Maybe not in like a drastic like, oh, I'm just so rich off of this one thing, not like that, but like I don't have to move like I'm like dodging bullets anymore. I can kind of like kick back some days and trust that that rest is actually like more important long term for my creativity, for who I want to be, than like keeping those gears just going with no maintenance. Self-maintenance is important. Massage, self-care, like you're really being called to, where you can, take the space and the energy and the time to give back to yourself. And you might be someone who's having to break that, like, but myself expects me to do all these things, or to be this person, or to give so much. And like, you're not going to feel bad about it in the next 6 months. You're going to understand that you can do more, like, when you do fill up yourself. Okay, moving on. Yeah, some cleansing for sure, because I just burped. Let's go. Everyone's like, bye dude, different file. Okay, opening up this reading with the Untamed Elemental. I look over there because I keep all the boxes, because sometimes I forget the names of the oracle or the tarot cards I'm using. So Untamed Elemental, Divine Feminine, dude, right on point. Just trusting that, like, internal unknown. I don't know why this is feeling good, but it is. I'm gonna do it. I don't care if I'm not giving output today. I'm giving input today. That's like that divine feminine wisdom of like, dude, I'm not predictable all the time, and I shouldn't be, because what would I be if I were just so predictable and so mechanical? Yes, there's a time and place for that, and I'm good at it when I do it, but I don't have to devote my life to that at all, especially not now. I like it. I like where this is headed. It's kind of hot. I think you're magnetizing some new love, or a new face of love if you're already in a relationship. With that being said, let's go ahead and do the general upgrade cards. We have one tarot card, the OG tarot deck. Oh my gosh, Queen of Swords. You are like stepping into, I do what I want. I can't, like, I can't curse, but I can't mess with people and things that irritate me anymore. I can't be doing all that. I'm not extending my hand to someone who's just gonna pull me down and not even try to come up, right? Queen of Swords gives the energy of like, I'm trustworthy. I never say something I don't mean. Take my advice or don't, but like, don't bother me with your issues. She's hard hitting, right? And so this is like, you can be protective of yourself. And you in the next 6 months are learning, like, if I do this right here that I'm excited about, that I know works, things are gonna go well for me. But if I keep messing around and like having conversations with people I don't really want to talk to, doing little tasks, it's starting to irritate you, I think. And you're starting to be like, this is divine irritation. I should stop. I should be more creative in how I handle this irritation so that I don't have to be like this anymore. I don't have to do these things anymore. Spirit is going to give you some new resources to work with. That feels really right. New resources, new ways of either making money, sustaining home, handling people, communicating, so that you don't have to be so overwhelmed by things that really don't have anything to do with you, and knowing how to not involve yourself, not making it about you if you don't want to be in the situation. Okay, Black Moon astrology card, Mercury retrograde reinvention. Yes, I think that you have had so many opportunities too in the past, and it's like you're good at a lot of things. So you kind of like, okay, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that. And you're like cramming it all into life. And then you're like, wait, here's what I need to do. These are my responsibilities. I'm going to have to find a way to do that and delegate myself in the right manner so it's not exhausting me. Then what I have of my free time, I know how to like monetize this hobby. I know how to keep this hobby as its own. Like you're gaining this clarity of like, some of this is just for me, to have fun, to have passion. I need to stop trying to monetize it. I need to stop trying to make it productive, put boundaries on it. This is just for me. Have fun. My relationships, some of this stuff needs to change. The way people are coming at me, I cannot operate in this sense of like overwhelm, or I don't really like you, or I really like you and you're not giving me what I want. You're taking independence and being like, if I focus on the stuff I like first, I don't have to worry about if I'm not getting enough of what I want from this person. And it's easier for me to be like, hey, not today. Like, not hold resentment when you say that, but just feel good about saying, hey, not today. Like, I'm not available for that. Or I'm going to be focusing on this, actually. And taking more self-direction and being okay with it. That being a strong version of you coming out. Like, you don't have to be, you just have to be presentable and kind and compassionate. So doing that to yourself first will allow you to better do that in a way that it doesn't seem like rude on the outside. Because I think some of you are like, but that will be rude, or that brings out a version of me I don't like. But it's about finding that there's an art to it, right? Where it's like, when I do actually focus on myself, I can be more loving in my approach to drawing a boundary that needs to be drawn, and being like transparent and being like, I've been really overwhelmed lately, and like I just need like some time, or yeah, like I need some space and time for myself when handling this responsibility that I do take seriously, but right now it's looking like this for me. Okay, and then also I think you have some new ideas that you're also just like interacting with, and you're like, hey, this could be something in my life. This could be good for me. And doing this, I just enjoy it. I don't have to have an expectation necessarily, and some of it I do have to have an expectation. And yeah, you're getting more clarity on what those things are. Then we have the what is it called? The Fortune Oracle. You have card number 28, the Snake. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path. Be careful. Okay, you might be one of your own worst enemies in terms of like sticking to the path you want to be on, because you are very intuitive, but then you like focus maybe really hard on stuff that, like, if you would have just let it blow over on its own, you wouldn't have had as much drama. So if there's people in your life where you're like, I don't like them, but then you like take a lot of time to try to like fix the situation, or you keep letting them in, or you keep talking not like good things about people, like you keep saying things and keep gossiping, or you keep ruminating about stuff, you're just robbing yourself of time and energy, right? Because yes, you're intuitive, yes, you're psychic, but do they really have that much power if you don't let them in as much? Like, you might be starting to be like, okay, this is how I'm reinventing myself. It's when I know that it doesn't ever really provide a great result for me. When I'm not available to give that thing my energy, I just don't. I do something that excites me. And that's big growth, right? Because like maybe you didn't always have the option to do that, but now you do. And I think Spirit's saying, hey, now you do. You have the option. And if you do it in a vulnerable way, in a nice, compassionate, clear way, people will understand. And that being said, when you have a lot of time on your hands, if you have a lot of time and energy, don't start new habits. Don't go into a new addiction. Don't go into a new person or place that is going to just be you finishing unfinished business, if you know what I mean. Like, let's say you had a lover or a friend who didn't like fully go the way you wanted it to. You might try to repeat history and then fix it, per se. You might have unnecessary like episodes over things that don't really need to be had because you let this thing into your life that you know you didn't really need it. Stay simple at this time, because you have a lot of power and a lot of confidence, and when you get too chaotic or you start repeating history, it kind of like drains you all over again. So Spirit's like, I'm going to make it very clear for you with your intuition. I'm going to do everything I can do, and you just keep it simple. Don't do anything unnecessary. Have fun. Like, more than anything, tap into that inner child who's like has the beginner's mind, wants to learn new things, wants to have fun, wants to play games, wants to get spiritual, and go from there. Had to switch over my battery, but just go from there, and you'll really be amazed at how easy it is to like flow into this life where your character has a pretty big change, because you're less stressed out in the next 6 months. You're very much like peaceful, and that means a lot to you, because it's not always been afforded to you to be peaceful. You have had to kind of fight to get to the point you want to be at, and the point you're at now, and now you're going to be given a new set of like tools and a new perspective on the constants in your life, so that those constants aren't like exhausting. Last card for general upgrades, we have Dragonfly. Very much inner child energy, very playful, very fun. Like, because you're able to delegate your time and energy correctly for your specific like rhythm in life, for who you're supposed to be and who you want to be. Now you trust your ability to do that in a very forgiving, sweet way, to the point where you're like, I have time to play. I have time to like, I'm more lighthearted because I trust myself to protect myself, and I like the way I protect myself. And that leads to like new creativity, because you're like, today I want to paint, today I want to organize, today I want to be a parent, today I want to be a nurturer, today I want to focus on more of this aspect of my life. I want to do something nice for the people I love. Like, there's not a you need to do this for me anymore. And you're kind of perfecting the idea of being a leader and also being a giver. Like, I think those two things you might have a hard time, because maybe you're in a position of power or responsibility where you feel like you either need to be a commander or you need to be like, yeah, it's like being more of a gentle director of your own life allows people to kind of harmonize with you a little bit easier, because you have better communication tools and you're learning how to do that through play. Not just through play, but kind of what I talked about. Like, since you trust yourself, other people can like hear your message a little bit more, because you're being more vulnerable and you're able to play more, and you're looking for the fun stuff in life rather than the potential threats. And I don't think this is about welcoming in new people either. I think like new people will come in naturally, but it's really more about like, it's really more about loving what you've got. And then like, yes, like new people come in, but I don't think anyone significant is really coming in at this time. Like, this next chapter is dedicated to you polishing and smoothing and rounding the edges that used to be so sharp. Like, the next 6 months are about becoming happy in yourself. Okay, moving on to, we did general upgrades just now, so now we're moving on to love. Yes, okay, perfect. And then we'll go into money. We have 2 sacred geometry cards here from the Lawn Sacred Geometry Oracle. We have number 11, the number of change and justice and teacherhood and balance. Being awareness. The energy of awareness supports our capacity to focus our attention on all aspects of a multidimensional world so that we create a reality we truly choose. Been talking about that. I like that. And 21, freedom. The energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. So it's like literally, I like that. Like, you're becoming aware of so much, internal, external, and you're like, wait a minute, if I make these, since my perspective is now shifting, I feel better. It was in me all along. And this freedom, I think, in the next 6 months leads you to really finding happiness and really being like, dang, I made a huge change, and I didn't have to make those changes. I was sustaining myself, but like, I'm happy now in my process. So yeah, some cleansing too, because I feel like that cough, like anytime I have a bodily experience during a reading, I always feel like it kind of guides me a little bit on what's happening. And it's like you're literally just getting the remnants of like the old self that doesn't serve you but has served its time, and you're grateful, and you're like, you know what, it's okay to like shift gears a little bit. And this will attract better, more aligned opportunities. If you've been having trouble manifesting, the next 6 months gets you on that right path. And it really makes it obvious, like, what things are you talking about? What people do you keep focusing on? What parts of your life are bothering you? Free yourself from the bondage of those things without doing anything drastic. And the next thing you know, you're stoked on like, dang, I did that. I did that for me and like for the people I love. And now it's like working. I knew it all along, and I actually applied myself and made a change. And like, this is a huge, I think this is a huge transition for you. I don't know if you've ever actually gone through this type of internal feeling shift. Like, you've made huge changes in life, but this is like an internal one. I think you've always had to be shifting for something else. This is for you, which I really like. And in love, it's like you're freeing yourself of whatever doesn't serve you anymore. Like, you're learning how to, if you have a partner right now and you're sticking with them, it's like you're learning how to stop causing unnecessary things by, I guess, doing you. Like, you're kind of like, I love doing this thing so much, so that brings down the general turbulence of the relationship because you're happier. You're more able to be vulnerable. You're more able to be like, when you need to have a conversation that's more serious, you're able to do that without it being like, it's been hard, it's been hard, it's been hard, and this is just more hard stuff. It's starting to be like, they listen to you because they know you're being authentic. They see you putting the work in. The overall communication is lightening up. It's becoming more beautiful between the two of you. And then I think for some of you, you've already kind of decided to leave this person and you're leaving. And for some of you, you're not with anybody and you're happy and you're learning how to be happy alone, which I like. I like all of it. All of it is good, and it leads you in a direction of more love in the future. So the next 6 months, again, polishing and rounding edges. Let's get more on the love. Education, number 12. Yeah, you're doing self-discovery. And you might be literally learning something new. You might be learning something alongside a partner. There could be therapy. There could be a new activity or sport or something fun you're learning together. Or, again, you're doing this self-discovery research project, you know, within, and it's helping you to be like more ready to choose the right partner after these 6 months. Or you could be learning about somebody too. You're learning more about each other. You're learning about someone who's special. And you could be learning stuff you don't like and you decide to set yourself free from that. Or you could be like, hey, now I know these things and I know how to communicate and it's all good. Like, I think that no matter what, this group is going in a positive direction for love. Like, you're either manifesting within a relationship, the relationship you want, or you're kind of like, it's easy to let you go, or you're like, this is about me right now, and the next person is going to be on the money. Next card, we have another black moon. Oh, I haven't pulled. Yeah, I have. We have another black moon astrology card. We have Sagittarius. I see. Yes, with the education, awareness, freedom, and Sag, it's like my eyes are definitely open. Sag is like, there could be some travel in the future too, like abroad, like not just like in your general area travel. You could be like going off and exploring yourself, exploring another, learning about them, making decisions. Like, I don't think anyone is getting into a super serious relationship right now. I think it could be more about fun and self-discovery. If there's someone who's not that serious in your life, I think they're more of a phase, to be honest, for you to learn about yourself, but have fun with it. And then for others, if you're in a relationship, again, it's lightening up. It's getting a lot better. I'm getting like a feeling of like, you're making a huge change. So everybody who's close to you, that perspective on them is also going to change, and it's much better. And a trip could be symbolic of that. More travel is kind of symbolic of you breaking these chains that force you to see the person the way you see them. And yeah, it's like, it's just really good. A lot of lightheartedness. I like it a lot. So then moving on to money. I think that feeling I just got, you do have a lot of money coming in. Some of you might have inherited some money, or something came to you in a kind of easy way. Or someone bought you something, or someone's going to buy you something, I don't know. Like, but you could just have an influx of material right now. Your tarot card, 3 of Cups. I love that. So you could have something that's fun happening in work. Like, you could be like going to company parties or being invited to travel for work. You could have something with your friends going on that's making you money. There's a sense of, again, lightheartedness coming in. Okay, 2 Moonology cards. We have full moon and Leo go wild with the 3 of Cups. Woo! And then we have new moon in Capricorn. Step up and lead. Yes. Okay. In money, I think you do have like a group of people that you're working with, or your team, or, you know, your coworkers. There's a lightening there, more respect being had, and you're expressing yourself in a more like, I'm happy to be here type of way, which makes other people more happy. And then when it's time to get serious, you're able to get serious. Capricorn, more money is coming in. New moon in Capricorn. It's dawning on you. This is how I climb the ladder. This is how I conduct myself. This is who I am in this company. This is who I am in my company. This is who I am in this group. You're understanding how to be literally like monetizable in your personality. You're like, this is it. Like, there's this right amount of fun and softness and charm. And then there's this right amount of like, I always do what I say I'll do. I do it in my unique way. I have fun. I hit all the marks. I'm irreplaceable, and people see you as a part of their group, and that gets you money. That gives you opportunities, resources. Like, it's fun, and someone could be taking you on a trip and it's saving you money. Like, just good stuff is coming in the next 6 months. Lastly, money. We have Void of Course, Moon missing. Okay, we got a little curveball here because it feels like, again, sometimes people expect a lot of you at your work, or you expect a lot of yourself, and sometimes you're like, today's not the day, and that's okay. You're received well. People are like, nothing's gonna get taken from you. If sometimes you're like, not today, guys, like, I'm taking a lighter day, or not today, self, we're chilling. It's okay to do that too, and Spirit's really like uniting the two halves of you, and it's okay to do both, because it's just not realistic, I think, for somebody to be go, go, go and not have like that other side of them that really respects and values their free time and themselves and their ability to say, not today. Okay, so I think this was solid. Like, I didn't mean to get too harsh when I was like saying about like gossip and stuff like that, but I think it's just like sometimes those blunt messages come through because it's like, hey, you got some good stuff ahead of you. You don't have to like be in anything that vibrates any lower than the person you want to be, and a part of that is directing your energy towards what you want to be, which means you don't have any spare energy. And you can do that in a really loving way. And it will be obvious to you in the next 6 months how to do that, because you're going to have a lightening of the heart through art, play, fun, respect from your peers, being more vulnerable, sharing more, not being so reclusive and secretive with your struggles, not blaming your stuff on other people. And people like that. People love you so much and love to see you excel past your wounds and what has been painful for you, and you're really doing that, and you're really showing up for yourself, and there's a lot of power and respect coming your way. To close out your reading, we have Keepers of the Light Oracle. We have the White Eagle Ancestor Spirit. You're really doing this for your ancestors. You're really showing your lineage, your bloodline, a new way to live and be kind and be a leader and be powerful. You are the first of many to come in your lineage. So your ancestors from the past are so proud of the people that you're going to play a role with in the world today. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. Yeah, so I think even some of the boundaries could have been with family, you know, and you're like, hey, I just want to chill today. Like, I don't want to go to this thing. It's okay though, you know, other people will understand. Or if you're like, let's set a little boundary on how we're conducting ourselves. Like, you're just able to do that, and you don't have to follow a script anymore, your own or others. You can change it all. So I love this for you. The next 6 months are a very good refining period so that you can like take off at a full sprint, I think, after these next 6 months. And yeah, leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Today we have a plethora of Oracle and Tarot cards. This reading is meant to be in your highest and best alignment. It's for a broad group of people though, so not everything is going to resonate, I'm sure. Maybe, but if it doesn't, just take what serves you and leave the rest, because, you know, if it doesn't serve you, then it's not yours to keep, and you don't have to judge it. You don't have to think about it. Whatever rings a bell in your head, whatever gets you excited, that's what's for you, and that's all that really counts. So without further ado, we're gonna hop right in. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because it really is a great energy exchange for my time, my reading to you. And it helps me to continue making content, which is like my lifelong dream. Reading tarot cards on YouTube, I know. Okay, that's enough out of me as far as that goes. But we're gonna look at your crystal to kind of open up the reading. You have this really nice clear quartz, and I think that the clear vibe is kind of a symbol of a cleanse coming to you in the next 6 months, kind of cleansing away people, places, and things that don't serve you anymore. It's easy. People might just like not really be talking to you that don't serve you anymore. You're letting go of fear, paranoia. You're letting go of the past. You're starting to be done with anything that doesn't serve you, and it's very keen. It's very obvious that you're aware. It's like loving. It's loving. It's a loving witness perspective that you have of like, this, I'm good, I'm gonna keep going. And that's kind of what I get from that. It's a cleanse. It's a cleanse of things that don't serve you anymore, and it is not hard to do. It's very easy. In fact, and Spirit is giving you all of the tools and the knowledge that you need to make it as a simple, clean process as possible. So if you have a habit, you have a thing in your routine, you might just suddenly have like little roadblocks come your way, and you can just take that as a sign of like, okay, I wasn't really vibing on that anyway. And that's kind of the feeling that I get from it. So lots of good graceful cleanse coming your way. Nothing to be afraid of. Pretty easy, pretty good. A lot of self-strength just emerging out of you too. Just psychic awareness of like, I'm sure that something better is upon me. And it is. Like, you have some upgrades in here that are very intense, unique to your group too. Like, you're like, oh, I've been waiting for this for a while. That's the type of stuff I'm already feeling in these cards. This is like, Spirit knows you can't really mess with anything anymore that's gonna like not serve you, so it's only up from here is what I'm hearing. It's like, it's all good. Might not be on your perfect schedule that you've created. It might not be exactly what you expected, but it is the best. You're getting the best. You also have new spirit guides coming in, seeing like people are networking on the other side for you, making sure you're in touch with the right people and places and opportunities that you need to be in touch with. When things fall through, again, take it as a sign, because the right things are coming your way. There's no room for excess. You're full, you're booked, you're busy. You have enough time to do your responsibilities, have your free time, have some fun, and then the rest is upgrades. It's like, you don't have any time to be over here messing with people whose conversations don't do anything for you. You don't really have time to listen to somebody who irritates you at work. You don't have that anymore. It's not like, gosh, a lot of my time gets wasted. It's like, no, every minute I have is something I really like understand adds to my life. And it might not be that you're super stoked on every single minute, but it's like, it's all self-help, it's all work, it's all good. I see the point in all this stuff. So meaning is coming in, and stuff that's not meaningful to your highest and best path, to your growth, to your evolution, to your spirit, is not going to be something that you really have the time, energy, or space for anymore, and that'll just be obvious and easy. So to open up your reading, we have, and I look over here to see the Oracle and Tarot deck boxes, because sometimes I forget with all the Oracle cards. This is the Untamed Elemental. To open up your reading, we have the Sage. Okay, and also Sage, I feel like, is one of the most powerful like cleansers. Like, I feel like using sage as a sacred smoke is like, that's for like moving in or moving out or an intense ritual. Like, it's not an everyday cleanser. It's kind of like the bleach, the oven cleaner of the sacred smokes. Like, it really cleanses. But also in this context, the sage is somebody who really has seen a lot and really has spent time in both solitude and in company, and really knows how to take advice and have a beginner's mind. So maybe you are leaving some stuff behind. Like, it could be a job, it could be people, it could be friends, it could be a habit, an addiction, it could be something, and you've seen enough and you're like, I know where to go, like, and I know it, even if I don't, that this is better to like cut ties or to have a clean slate. And this doesn't even have to be like very symbolic. Like, you might not even mindfully be like, no more of this, but suddenly you're in a position in the next 6 months where you're like, dang, way more peace than I've ever had before. And it's easy. Again, like, the ease is so prominent in this reading of like, the changes happen at a beautiful unfolding, like butterfly to cocoon type of speed. Yeah, the cleanse is easy, and you feel a sense of connection to what you're passionate about and what's fun. Like, you might be like, I'm just really into playing this video game right now, or I'm just really into like decorating or organizing or making this type of art or spending time at this place, and it feeds you in a different way to where you're like, I know what I'm passionate about and I know what doesn't give me that feeling. And it's easy to just like give my time to what feels good, and to simplicity, and to peace, and to my everyday life and my health. than like try to go chase something that isn't meant for me anyway, or like never provides the reward I wanted anyway. You have that wisdom now, and then the next 6 months you get to see the actual benefit of having that wisdom, because you've had it, but it's like you're gonna see what it looks like in a long-term action type of way. And also you could be studying something new and literally channeling energy and like learning and applying and teaching and stuff like that on a spiritual level. So let's go into general upgrades. So general upgrades for the next 6 months for pile 3. We have my OG tarot deck here. 10 of Swords, not surprising to see. One of my favorite cards of the deck, but I want to see all the cards together to get an accurate reading. Solar Eclipse in the Black Moon Astrology deck. Revolution. The World, card number 36 in the Fortune Oracle. Be open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. And in the Priestess Moon Making Magic Oracle, we have Spirit, card number 19, Heavenly Assistance from your angels and guides. What'd I say? Okay, let's start off with one of the most impactful cards, I believe, of all these. They're all heavy hitters, but 10 of Swords is the most like important in terms of maybe all the other cards suddenly like being very meaningful in a different way, because 10 of Swords is, I like to call it like the awakening card. You know, the swords are pierced in somebody's back, and this is symbolic of not looking back anymore. This is symbolic of there are things in your past that just don't serve you, and if you keep messing around and trying to repeat history and try to finish unfinished business with things that don't serve you, you're going to suffer the consequence of that. It's not a threat. It's just like Spirit is not going to let you dilly-dally in situations that don't serve you anymore. Like, a lot of times this card has come up for me when I relapse, and it's like, I knew that was not a good choice. And it just didn't work. It wasn't sustainable. So I had to have a cleanse. I had to get clean. I had to get sober again. It was like, it just didn't work. It sucked. So the 10 of Swords always will show you what sucks. It'll always be like, yo, not good. And the symbology of this card is that there's never blood. It's not like a physical consequence. It's like you can feel it in your spirit that this stuff does not work anymore. You know, 10 of Swords is like, enlighten yourself, bud. And so you could literally have, you know, some things coming up where you're like, I'm not available for that. Like, I don't like your tone. I don't like the way this affects my life. I don't like the feeling I get. I don't like it. And it's obvious. And yes, there could be some drama and pain that comes with those realizations, but in the grand scheme, your spirit is like, sign me up. Like, get that out. I'm good. I know that there is gold on the other side of this, you know, like, because the 10 of Swords also always has a horizon line. A lot of times it has a rainbow in the card. It's like, this is a good thing, dude. Like, kill the aspects and the perspectives of yourself that believe you are not worthy of a really good life. Like, witnessing the death of the version of you who does not want you to succeed and doesn't know how to succeed. Like, this card is truly about understanding, you know, a lot of times there's a horizon line, there's a rainbow in this card in the background. It's like, this is an important transformation you're undergoing. Your higher self is like, sign me up. I know there could be some pain. I know it's not comfortable to make big changes on myself, but on the other side of this transformation is the best life I could possibly live. Cut out the things that do not take me to the best possible place I could be. It can be painful. Again, yes, there could be pain, but there's never blood in the card. This is not a literal physical consequence. This is a spiritual transformation that takes place, and it is not meant to hurt you. It is not meant to cause pain, to cause non-confidence. It's meant to take you to a level of self-worth and understanding and research on the self and how you interact in the world, to be able to conduct yourself and believe that you can live a life that is really, really, really good and feels really meant for you, which always starts with weeding out the stuff that no longer does serve you. You know, like with the Sage and the Ten of Swords, this kind of makes me think of the type of person who's like, I'm gonna get my enlightenment through this. I'm gonna do this, and this is going to change my perspective. And it's like, the whole point is that an external thing cannot be a lasting teaching. I don't care how crazy and powerful or awesome an experience seems to be, but the point is like, it's external. You gotta live it. You gotta practice it. If you want to make a change, you have to fully be that thing. You can't take something. There's no magic pill. There's no psychedelic. There's no relationship. There's no job that gets you to the place of wisdom that it's going to take for you to be satisfied. And if you are having things that kind of get you like roped in, believing that, you know, your comfort is the most important thing and your comfort is kind of reliant on X, Y, and Z, Spirit is not going to let that happen anymore. It's like, no, we want you to be happy within, in yourself, with nothing, so that everything feels like a blessing. And it doesn't have to be dramatic if you don't want it to be. It's simple actions. It's simply listening to the signs and the intuitive wisdom of, okay, this no longer serves me. Not sure how I'm gonna break free. Not sure I'm gonna make this change, but I'm gonna hand it over to God Universe. I'm gonna hand it over to my ancestors. I'm gonna be open and honest about my vulnerability and trust that change will come. And that's why ease kept coming in. Ease, ease, ease. The cleansing is easy because when you think about it like that, you're open. And when you're open, there is an infinite amount of intuition and knowledge and hobbies that will replace the habit of thinking that it's going to be hard. It's going to be easy, like simple. The universe is practically doing it for you, through you. Which leads me to the solar eclipse revolution, card number 44. In the next 6 months, you will have returned full circle to where you're at now, where you're like, dang, thank God for this path. Thank God I made the changes I needed to make. Like, I finally have unlocked the new map, the new level. I know how to have fun and be simple and be safe and not have to rely on sources of chaos for happiness. There's a sense of really living the teachings that you've been trying to just study right now. Like, you get to see it in action. You're like, again, seeing the wisdom in action. You're like, I really, really get it. But that doesn't like fill you with ego. You have a lot of humility. With the card number 19, these are all spiritual numbers too. 10 kind of representing the revolution, the abundance of the universe, and then literally revolution card, solar eclipse 44. This is like the master teacher has lived their full cycle of like, okay, I've lived my teachings. I can really teach them now because I seen them in action. There's a sense of like, I am a emblem of my beliefs at this point. Like, I get to see my dreams manifest. I believed it and it came true. Card number 19 being the card of the sun, and it's also the spirit, it's like, oh, what I meant to say is card number 19 in tarot numerology is the card of the sun. In this oracle deck, it's card of spirit. But when you see 19 show up, it's like the path is so clear. Because I'm aware of obstacles, I'm aware of what could come up. I've kind of come to a lookout point, zoomed out, played the tape through, and I can see in the next 6 months the potential I have, and I'm preparing accordingly of what could get in my way. Everyday routine. Where am I not showing up in the way I want to show up? How can I make these little adjustments so that I'm more equipped to do what I want to do? How do I take care of myself? How do I get my health to the place I really want it to be at? How do I just do simple things every day to add to my life in the overall? You have a lot of humility on your side, and that's why you get a lot of chances. I think you're someone who's been through quite a bit of stuff, and it could have felt like, dang, I've already lived 1,000 lives. I don't even know how, like, this is here now. But this is the one where you're excited. This next 6 months leads you to a life that is much different from any other life you've really lived. And it's very exciting for you. There's so much unknown goodness coming your way. Like, you're so happy with the results and the satisfaction. God is fully using you, or spirit or your ancestors are fully evolving, watching your evolution alongside of you, living through you. Just like, yes, this is what we meant to do. Like, this is what we came here for. And that manifests us into card number 36 in the Fortune Oracle of the World. Be open to new possibilities. Like, you have no idea the goodness that's on its way. And like doing these simple acts of kind of cleansing and getting ready and like keeping your mind as like good as you can get it will better equip you to like enjoy and truly enjoy. And there's nothing to worry about. Like, again, it's easy. You just have to like literally do you every day and stay out of trouble, you know? Do your best to stay out of trouble. Okay. And if there are things that you're like, I don't know how to stay out of trouble, I don't know how to handle this, just get humble and tell your guides, tell your higher self, tell God, tell the universe, tell the earth, whoever you're working with or are more inclined to work with, tell them, ask for support, you're gonna get it. It's gonna be easy. And I mean it. Like, that's for everybody. Okay. Like, you're gonna be amazed before the next 3 months are up, let alone the next 6. You're gonna be like, dude, this is crazy how blessed like life really is for me. And such an extreme transformation. Like, I always had this wisdom, this idea, this dream. I did not genuinely understand how it would feel when it came to the surface and into being. Like, you're being blessed, and you're gonna be able to use the wisdom from your past to really see how blessed you are. Moving into love. Okay, we have the Lawn Sacred Geometry Oracle to open it up. We have friendship and 4th chakra. A lot of green going on. I like that. Card number 22 and card number 4. You have all this like 2-2, 4-4, 4. Like, you got a lot of that. The energy of friendship supports our intrinsic desire for connection with others based on mutual affection and appreciation. 4th chakra, the energy of heart chakra, supports our inner guidance system, which is governed by heart and the capacity to love deeply. So for those of you looking for love, love could literally come through friendship. You could literally either just be enjoying like your platonic opportunities so much. You could literally have a friend that becomes a lover. For some of you that are in a relationship or getting into that relationship, it's like, keeping your friendship first is most important. Treat them like you treat a best friend. Don't make expectations on them to do the same. Just focus on your part, your side of the street, which is treat them as a really good friend. And in the next 6 months, you're going to see how much that helps the relationship. Like, it will show results to, you know, not show the side of yourself that you quote unquote would show in like in a relationship. It's not about like expecting stuff from this person. Just like a friend, you're happy with what you get, and as long as they're like doing their part to maintain a friendship and you're doing your part, it is much easier to have that level of detachment of like, hey, this is just like actually my best friend. This is my really good friend. It's easy for me to ask for what I need and to not make unspoken like toxic ideas of what they should be doing, and just to say like, this is what I'm looking for. When I have these conversations with you, I know you take me seriously because I don't need to have them that often. Like, focusing on the actual friendship and like inviting them to do things and not expecting them to court you is kind of important right now. Like, showing your part of the effort is going to matter and make a way more significant change than trying to change them. Or you might just be in a period where it's not about love that much, and it's more about like literally having friends, having fun, getting to know people, not hopping into a relationship. And yeah, so overall, the pile number 3 is more so focusing on the lighthearted, friendly version of love, because that will overall get you to a place where romantic love is more real, like it's more authentic, it's more felt. It's capable of getting stronger and deeper in the future. Then also for love, we have calm. Yeah, I love that. And it's card number 7, which is the Chariot in the tarot. So like, you know, you're potentially already with someone that you live with, or you're going to be coming upon someone that you will live with. Yeah, so this phase that you're in with your love life, whether it is like, I'm not focused on getting a partner, this could lead you to finding a new roommate. This could lead you to like getting closer with one of your friends where it makes a big change and it leads you to the right lover in the future. It could also be like, again, you're focusing on just creating this like, yeah, calmness in your current existing relationship, and you not expecting too much from the people you're romantically interested in or from the person is going to like kind of help you get that level of independence in practice, which will give you more time for yourself and more energy, and it'll become easier to not expect stuff of other people. You spend less time disappointed and more time just enjoying, and that's like really an art form for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people never get the opportunity to get that skill down, which is what you're doing. Then we also have, from the Black Moon astrology deck, we have lunar eclipse change. Yeah, there is a shift. Okay, so like, again, if you're already in a relationship, focusing on this friendship thing is kind of maybe unexpected, because it's like, maybe you guys were getting a little too deep. Maybe the depth was leading to a place that wasn't sustainable, or you're starting to realize how like codependency doesn't serve you, so you're finding a way to like re-inspire the relationship through the lens of like lightheartedness and friendship, and taking action you need to take to help yourself in the places you need to be helped, and not expecting them to bandage your wounds for you, which is true love. And then also letting your support group, for everybody, like when you focus on your friends, you don't have to just be supported by one person. You have multiple sources of support. So there's this idea of like community in your life, so that you, again, don't have to have codependent relationships. You can be more apt to like looking to different people for different things and having a more full sense of I'm supported. And that creates a really solid basis for a romantic relationship, because again, you're not looking to one person to make you happy. Like, that's not possible. One person, one thing can't make you happy. And it overall leads you to way more fulfillment this period of time. For the next 6 months, you're getting way more fulfilled in love. And some of you could be like, you know what, I'm realizing you're not really my friend, I don't want to be with you anymore, and that's okay too. But yeah, I think that this is a pretty diverse group in terms of love, so hopefully one of those things kind of resonated with you. And lastly, going into money. So for money, we have our OG tarot card. We have the Devil. So anytime the Devil card comes up, and it's great actually that it's in the context of money, because that makes it very clear. You know, I always like to say that the Devil, it's never helpful for a tarot reader to look at the Devil maybe from like a more theological point of view. It's more useful because, in my experience, what I've seen it in action, the Devil card, when it comes up, what it really means is that I like to look at it from a point of astrology, because the Devil card is ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn is the archetype of climbing the ladder. It's the goat. It gets to the top of the mountain. Goats always want to be at the highest lookout point. They will stop at nothing to get there. They will jump on your back to get to a higher position than they're at now. So the Devil card in money could mean trying by any means possible to make more money. Yes, I'll work more. Yes, I'll take that opportunity. Yes, there are really tempting ways to make money in the world. Stay out of trouble. Like, temptation is a no-go. If you're trying to do a get rich quick, if you're trying to do something you know is not good for your spirit for money, stay out of it. Spirit's being like, yo, you're gonna probably attract some different types of people. People from the past might come up. Jobs might try to ask more of you. If it is not going to serve your spirit, do not sell it for money. Do not sell your time and energy for money, when your time and energy is going to be better spent elsewhere. Slow and steady is going to win the race here. And also, don't be putting yourself in situations, this is for a select few of you, because I felt like addiction arose up here. Don't put yourself in situations in a work environment where you're more you're more prone to maybe drinking, using, doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing, right? The temptation's never going to be worth it in the realm of money for you. So take that as you will, but it does kind of pertain to you. You'll reach success no matter what. The 6 months is about getting to a higher point. When you have a big, huge mountain, there's a lot of little mountains along the way. You could stop and play around and get on that little mountain just for the sake of getting the view. Again, slow and steady up that mountain with no stops, though, is going to be better. So what I'm saying is, don't let temptation and tomfoolery get in your way right now. Like, do not be using drugs and alcohol. If you are in a state where you're like, you're pretty sure maybe you struggle with some of that, a lot of these cards are kind of like, yo, if you want the next 6 months to take you to the max capacity point you can be at, you need to stay out of temptation's way. Don't go toiling in places where it's going to make you think it's a good idea. It's going to make you think you fit in, you know, because like making a bunch of money and pushing yourself into a state of like, I'm really overwhelmed, can lead you to having pretty unhealthy coping mechanisms. So you got to be careful of having balance and assure yourself that following your intuition and laying low is more important and will lead you to more success in the long term, because these like short schemes and spells of like getting yourself all overwhelmed and like trying to get into groups that aren't sustainable in the long term, not worth. And again, if you don't struggle with any of that, and then you have a work position where it's just demanding way too much, and it's like, if you want this, you better do this, or like has this like contracty vibe, stay away from that as much as you can, you know, like don't really be signing too many contracts. Don't be trying to overwhelm yourself. Like just kind of do bare minimum, if you will. Do what you need to do to get where you need to be, but like don't extend yourself too much right now. Okay, 2 more cards on money from the Moonology deck. We have first quarter moon in Aquarius, trust the universe, exactly. And new moon in Virgo, trust all will be well. Again, you don't have to do anything crazy right now for money. You might not have as much money as you've always had. Like there could be a short phase in the next 6 months where you're like, wait a minute, I need more money. No, you don't. You're good. The universe is going to give you everything you need to do. Like, this is an important phase for you with money. You're learning how to be more simple, be more humble, not push yourself to the extreme. You're learning, and over the next 6 months, you're going to be like, dang, I ended up with more money than I think I probably would have. And I was patient, and I trusted, and I didn't push myself past my limits. I really stayed out of trouble. I stayed out of the chaos zone. I focused on my inner well-being, and it paid off more. So trust. You're gonna see some months where you're like, oh, do I need to go and do this? You won't have to do anything that you don't need to do, like don't want to do. Yeah, you might not want to go to work, but like you don't need to go above and beyond. The universe will make sure you have what you need, and you're going to be very, very comfortable with trusting by the end of the next 6 months, because you're going to be like, this is better than I expected, and I'm feeling better than I ever have. Okay, lastly for money, we have a astrology card again, Capricorn. Yes, transcending that Capricorn shadow, you know, of like push myself as hard as I can. Doesn't matter how I feel. It's more like, no, I use the resources that are given to me. This is probably a time of paying off debt for you. You might be paying off something, making a big purchase, being more constructive with the way you use money, and delegate your time and energy to make money. So any shifts that come along the way, like trust that the universe is kind of guiding you, but the tell-all is like trying to do it too fast, too quick, too chaotically is never a good idea for you. Capricorn takes its time, knows its resources, it's kind of frugal. It's like, I do what works and I leave the rest. And that's kind of what's happening with you. Just take it one day at a time. Because by the end of it, you're going to be like, okay, with this philosophy on money, with this outlook on my work ethic, I'm going to go way further than I would have went wasting my time and energy on all this other stuff. And like, just being patient is also key here, because Capricorn being associated with Saturn, it's slow growth, but it is, what is it called? Like, when it gets, the ratio of work to money gets better and better. Like, yes, you might feel like it's dragging on, but it's exponential, the reward you will get at the end of the day. To close out your reading, we have one of the keepers of the light oracle. We have faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, see the light in the world, which I think ties in very well with the rest of these cards. Have faith. You have some big changes, and it's very beautiful and internal, and just you're developing. You're like a Polaroid developing into its full colors. You're going to be so amazed at the next 6 months. I feel such genuine pride and like humble proudness in the self. And I think some of you are even like starting a family or like expanding your idea of what family will mean. You're moving from lone wolf to like a part of community. Health is important. Like, it's going to be really good and a lot more peaceful than you've ever had it. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.